Senator Rob Martwick, and I'm coming to you from my office here in Springfield, Illinois, and it's the end of session. We finished our last week of our veto session, so a little Civics 101 here for you. So the General Assembly meets during the spring. We pass all of our bills, we send them to the governor, and the governor has the summer to look over those bills and address them, either by signing them and they become law or issuing a veto. And we come back during the veto session to address any of those vetoes. But veto session is not just the time for vetoes. As you can imagine, with this new governor, we didn't have a whole lot of vetoes. He signed a lot of our bills and they became law. But by the same token, there were a lot of things that we needed to work on, and so we used this session to start doing, to address some of those additional bills. So we passed some new measures. It was a pretty successful veto session. In fact, this is as successful of a veto session as I've ever seen while we're here. We got some big stuff done. But let me start out with maybe some of the smaller stuff first. Today I passed my first bill as a senator. I certainly passed a whole lot of bills as a state representative, but I passed a bill today, first time as a senator. And what it does is it raises the certification requirements for people who do inspections on commercial fire sprinkler safety systems. There's been a problem lately where people have been inspecting sprinkler systems and then they don't function or they've been damaged. We needed to, for the purposes of creating safety, raise those certification levels. We did that through legislation today, passed overwhelmingly in the Senate, and it'll go on to the governor's desk to become law. There was another measure that was passed by Senator Andy Minar, championed this, and it was to rein in the rising cost of insulin. Diabetes is a problem that many Americans face, and because of problems with our healthcare system, the cost of insulin has skyrocketed. And so this puts a cap in, makes sure that people are not paying anything more than $100 out of pocket for their insulin. Even that's quite expensive, but it's a lot better than what's been going on. So a good measure. We did do a cleanup on the gaming bill. This will allow the gaming bill to proceed so that we can get that thing going. We really need to get gaming implemented because it is going to be a funding source for much of our capital bill. So it was good to be able to come down and fix that. Another issue which was very important, really very important, and we certainly didn't solve the problem, but we began to address it. And this is the problem of ethics, right? So as many of you know, corruption has reared its ugly head in Illinois government and politics once again. A nearby state representative was recently arrested, Luis Arroyo, for trying to bribe another elected official, acting as he was working in the capacity as a lobbyist while being an elected official. So we established a commission to study ethics laws as they exist in the rest of the country and provide guidance to Illinois so that we can enact more stringent ethics reforms in Illinois. And we took the step of requiring more disclosure from people working in these positions so that we can at least begin the effort of making sure that these conflicts of interest are more transparent. So step in the right direction, much more work to do to make sure that we root out corruption and we restore confidence in our government. Now finally, the last issue that I want to talk about, something that we passed, and I'm very proud of it, it's something that I worked on quite a bit, is the idea of pension consolidation. In Illinois, each town that has a fire department and a police department has separate pension systems for each one of those. We have over 650 downstate, we call downstate, but it's suburban and downstate, everything but the city of Chicago. Over 650 police and fire pension funds. Most of them are very small. They get very low returns on their investments. We're kind of wasting money. And so what we did today was we passed a bill that will allow these funds to consolidate into a single fund, well actually two funds, one police fund, one fire fund, but they will be much larger. They'll be able to leverage their assets for much greater returns. And this will put money into the pension systems. It will help secure those pensions for those first responders, and it will relieve the pressure on property taxes. Greater returns means less taxpayer monies that have to go in to secure those pensions. So it's a great first step. I'm very proud to have worked on it and to be in support of it. Now, to be fair, as part of the package, one of the things we did was we fixed a problem with some of these Tier 2 pension benefits. but we did that for every police and fire department except for the city of Chicago. When that was apparent to me, I immediately got on the phone and I spoke to the governor personally, and I spoke to the Senate president, and I got commitments from them that we will make sure that there is parity and that the Tier 2 pensions for Chicago police and fire first responders are also addressed. And so I'm happy that we have the commitment to get that done when we return in January. So good news on pensions. We're fixing problems. We're securing those funds. And so it was actually a really, really good veto session. Again, most times in veto, there's very little things that are done. Downstate police and fire consolidation is a huge initiative, and it really is something that will help the citizens of this state and people who live in the suburban areas. And now we can turn our attention to the Chicago pension systems and try to work to secure those and give taxpayers relief there as well. So that's it from Springfield. I look forward to wishing you all a wonderful holiday season in the upcoming months. I look forward to working with you and meeting with you, and we'll be back in January to get to work on some other issues, and I'll be keeping you up to date on the initiatives I have then. Looking forward to continuing my work on that elected school board and my work on pensions. So that's it for now. Thank you all for watching. Have a wonderful day.